Our next newsreel is from The Independent, dated Friday, 28th of November, 2025 by Holly Bishop. Metropolitan Police officers discovered 8 Romanian nationals, including a 15-year-old boy, who were forced to work in a car wash in Mitcham. Hewa Margai, 45, trafficked and exploited the group, luring them to the UK with false promises of accommodation, fair pay, food, and legitimate employment. The victims were instead made to work in Margai's car wash, housed in a small on-site room and subjected to physical, mental, and psychological abuse. Margai was found guilty of 8 counts of holding a person in slavery or servitude. He was sentenced to 8 years and 6 months in prison at Kingston Crown Court for his crimes. I'm actually happy he's been sentenced. This is enslavement as well as wickedness, as well as an abuse. I hope the 15-year-old boy will be given and the other men will be given residency, but that's left for the government to decide. Listeners and viewers, what do you think about this? Leave your comments via email address risingaboveshadowsofabuse@gmail.com. Thank you. The next newsreel is from ITV News, dated 28th of November 2025. A robber who fatally kicked, punched, and stamped on a pensioner before stealing his box of cornflakes and a cottage pie has been jailed for life. John McNey, 87, was targeted by unemployed Peter Augustine, 59, after he visited a co-op store in Manor House, North London, on the afternoon of May 6. Augustine was convicted of murder and robbery by a jury at the Old Bailey earlier this month and was sentenced on Friday to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 23 years. He was also sentenced for a theft charge that was dealt with at a magistrate court. Arsenal Football Club fan Mr. Mackay had lived in London for around 70 years and always had a twinkle in his eye and dressed immaculately in one of his 3B hats, his family told the court. Augustine did not attend his sentencing at the Old Bailey on Friday, claiming he had back pain. Handing out her ruling, which was broadcast live from the court, Judge Sarah Whitehouse Casey said, "I have no doubt that the defendant targeted Mr. Mackay specifically because he was frail. It was a cowardly act. The defendant has shown no remorse." Augustine has spent 203 days on remand and therefore has 22 years and 162 days left of his sentence to serve. He was sentenced to 4 weeks imprisonment for theft and 8 years for robbery. All 3 sentences will be served concurrently. Mr. Mackay left his home on May 6 shortly after 5 p.m. wearing a Tilbury hat and a grey Macintosh coat, carrying a walking stick and a black bag. At 5:12 p.m., he went on to a co-op in Manor House, North London, and bought cornflakes, a cottage pie, and a Mirror newspaper, which he put in his bag. He paid with a £20 note and kept £11.50 change in his pocket. Almost 18 minutes later, Augustine began following the pensioner. Mr. Mackay went to Manor Kebab at 5:36 p.m. to buy sausage and chips, while Augustine loitered outside. The victim was seen on CCTV at 5:50 p.m. and Augustine reappeared 3 minutes later carrying what appeared to be Mr. Mackay's bag. Passerby reported seeing Augustine attack Mr. Mackay and search his jacket while he lay on the ground. Another witness called the police after hearing a shout of "Give me the bag" and seeing Mr. Mackay lying motionless on the pavement. Mr. Mackay, bleeding from his head, briefly regained consciousness but could not explain to the police what had happened. He was treated in hospital for bleeding on the brain and broken ribs, but died 2 days later on May 8th. Police pieces together the events from CCTV, though the attack itself was not captured on camera. Prosecutor Jane Bickerstaff Casey told the court a later search of Augustine's room uncovered what was left of Mr. Mackay's grocery and wrapping from the cottage pie, sausage, and chips. Augustine was arrested 2 days after the assault. While in custody, he showed no remorse, making threats, acting violently, and throwing hot coffee at an officer, police said. Mr. Mackay's niece, Patricia Shakhan, described her perfect uncle as funny, charming, mysterious, and very definitely mischievous, and went on to criticize Augustine's behavior during the trial. The proud Irishman was a well-known, popular, and respected member of the community, but he was still remembered in his hometown, as shown by the number of people at his funeral, she said. Ms. Shakhan added, the defendant's behavior showed complete disdain, disrespect, and disregard for the family throughout the trial and caused even further distress from what was already an extremely traumatic experience. As a family, we have no dealings with the police or the court system. His refusal to even attend during the trial caused anguish and uncertainty because we did not know what we would be facing on a daily basis. He was constantly turning around and looking at us and shouting at us and frankly terrifying us from the witness box, which was just a few meters away. Family members gave statements outside court, with Mr. McCain's nephew, Adrian Kennedy, describing it as a relief that Augustine had not attended. He told reporters the lack of respect from him because he was so disruptive through the trial and the complete lack of respect he showed our uncle and us as a family. Today was just one of the relief because he would have just disrupted it so much that it wouldn't have appeared as it did. Unfortunately, Mr. McCain died. May his soul rest in peace. But I'm happy justice has been served. Listeners and viewers, what do you think? Leave your comments via email address risingaboveshadowsofabuse@gmail.com. Thank you.